To begin your ceiling tile, the first thing you'll have to do is decide the placement of things. Where do you want your watermelon and your citrus to go? The watermelon is the half circle, the citrus is the whole circle. Once you have your composition or your layout decided, then you're just going to trace. Trace around your template of the half circle, and then slowly and carefully trace around your other circle template. Make sure to use a light color when tracing. Now, when you're working on your watermelon, you're going to use dark green for the rind, and that's the C-shaped part of the watermelon. Now I'm switching to a light green part for the rind. Notice I'm holding my chalk on its side. I am not holding it like a pencil or a crayon. Next up is the pink. There's lots of different kinds of pinks for you to choose from. You pick one that you like. Again, I'm holding my chalk like it's sleeping on its side. Once that pink is completely filled in, then you can work on your citrus. I'm going to make an orange, so I'm using orange first. You could make a lime by starting with green. You could make a lemon by starting with yellow. You could make grapefruit by starting with orange. Now, for the inside, I'm going to make the sections of the fruit. I'm using the same color that I did for the rind, starting with an X, then a T. Next up comes the color of the actual fruit. So for an orange, I'm using peach or a lighter color. For a lime, you would want to use a lighter green. For a lemon, a lighter yellow. For a grapefruit, you get to use pink. Now that I have my watermelon and my citrus complete, let's add some more fruit. This is up to you. I'm starting with blueberries. Notice that I'm using a circle and I'm drawing it pretty big. Notice also that I'm drawing it by holding my chalk pastel like a pencil first and then laying it down on its side to fill it in. To make a strawberry, I'm using red and I'm kind of making a V shape with a curve at the top. Again, I drew it holding like a pencil and then switched to holding it on its side to fill it in. Now I'm just going to use some oval shapes at the top of my strawberry to make the leaves. I think I'll even add some more leaves in some empty places around the outside. Think carefully where you're placing things. The placement of things, again, is called your composition. So if you have big empty spots, you might want to consider filling them in. Now we need to blend the chalk, and that's where your little foamies come in handy. You might need to clean your little foamy off a little bit by rubbing it on the paper that's underneath your ceiling tile, and then you're just going to gently massage the chalk into place. This will make it so all the little chalk dust particles stay stuck to the ceiling tile. If you use a brush or a foam rubber thingy in the same place on all the pieces of fruit, the colors will get mixed. So maybe just use some of your foam for the cold colors and some of your foam for the warm colors. Definitely check your foam before using it for blending. You'll need to slowly and carefully blend all the parts that you've used with chalk. Now that our fruit is in place, you need to begin thinking about what you would like your background color to be. Consider using a color that you haven't used yet. I haven't used a bright, happy color like yellow yet. Now this is going to require a lot of chalk, so if you run out of chalk or your chalk gets completely worn out, just get a new piece. Notice I'm still holding it on its side, and I'm also trying really hard not to let all the different colors get mixed together. So I'm being pretty careful, even though it looks as though I'm going really fast. Again, once you're finished with this part, you're going to need to use a clean foam thingy-majingy to massage all the chalk particles in place. I stress the word clean. Double check it so that your colors stay nice and bright. We're getting close to the end. Our last step will be to outline everything with black. Notice that we use that last because black chalk likes to get everywhere. So we're going to save that for the last, but definitely not the least. Take your time making sure to massage all the parts of the chalk. There should be no ceiling tile visible. That means I shouldn't be able to see any of your ceiling tile parts. Make sure to really take your time to rub down and get all of those chalk particles to stick. All right, I think I've got it covered. Last thing to do is use my black to outline. I think I'll start with my watermelon. I'm going to slowly outline the edge of my watermelon, and notice I don't just use one line, but I go back and forth a couple of times. Anything that I drew, I am going to outline, not with just one line, but a couple. Don't forget to add some seeds to your watermelon. Notice I'm using ovals for that. Next up, I think I'll outline my blueberries, going slowly and carefully around them a couple of times and putting in the tiny little spot at the top. My ceiling tile is looking amazing, if I do say so myself, and I just did. And I know yours are going to look even better. This is your legacy to leave behind, your permanent mark in our school that will be forever displayed in the ceiling of our cafeteria. How cool is that? As a reminder to everybody to eat healthy. So take your time. I know you will, and I know it will be your best work. Now that I'm outlining everything slowly and carefully, when I'm finished, I might have to take the side of my foam to just gently massage the black outline to make sure those lines are going to stay in place. Our final step will be to add our initials to our masterpiece so people know who created them. So we'll talk about finding a special place to add your initials. Have fun, guys!